Hey folks, I'm Brittany. This is the Neverending Reader, and today I have a book outlet haul. This is my June haul, and I believe I received these books on the 23rd of June, and I asked you guys on Instagram whether you would like to see it or not. Most of you said yes, that you would also like to see the mid-year book freakout tag, which I will also film. So yeah, let's just jump into this haul. So the first book I have here is The Glass Sentence by S.E. Grove, and then I also have The Golden Specific. So these two are part of a series. I believe this one is the second one. I don't know much about it. You'll find that in most of this haul I don't know much about the books. Kind of just go with gut instinct and a lot of cover buys. So this, I believe, is like a weird, I don't know, 1800 story, except all the continents, maybe by magic, are like in different time periods. So I'm not sure how that really works. So it looks like in this book that there's a kidnapping, and then people with map making skills are like really important, and possibly our main character is a map maker, and I'm not sure really, but continents and different time periods, yes ma'am. The next book I have is Hidden by Helen Frost. I bought this solely on the fact that I love the cover. It's a pretty short book. And I believe this is about two young girls who meet in a summer camp, and they're like somehow connected by some sort of kidnapping, and their families and their secrets. And I just really liked the cover. Summer camp sounds fun. I loved summer camp as a kid. Most kids do. And yeah, it's short. It looks like a good time. So, and the next book I have is The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. This is not a genre that I would typically go for. The reason that I decided to pick it up is because I heard that it like kind of centers around a political scandal. Like the main character's father is in some sort of political bad thing. I don't know. I really like politics though. And well, I don't like politics, but I guess it's interesting. Yeah, so we'll see what this is all about. It's probably just like a cute contemporary. I don't really enjoy those a whole bunch, but I hear good things about Morgan Matson, so I do want to give her a shot. The cover is so cute, too. Look at those puppies. Next, I picked up The Lost Island of Tamarind. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. This is by Nadia Aguiar. I'm so gonna butcher all these authors' names, but this was also cover buy. I can't help myself. I have a serious cover buying problem. But look, it's like this island, and it looks so mysterious and magical and like, I don't know, Peter Pan-y. And the cover says, 3 kids, a violent storm, and an adventure on a mysterious island. So, I'm in. Yeah. It looks like a really good time. I also grabbed the second book to, I believe it's called The School for Good and Evil series. I own the first book, so this is the second. I picked up the first book and read like 50 pages, and then I had to return it to the library, and then I ended up buying my own copy, but I haven't finished it yet. And I did like what I read when I had the library copy, so when I saw this on Bookoutlet, I was like, it's cheap, y'all. I'm buying it. So, you guys have probably heard of this. This is a middle grade series. It follows 2 kids, and if I remember correctly, there's, I don't know, the kids get kidnapped in the town, and there's always 2 children who are kidnapped, and one of them goes to this school for good, and then the other one goes to a school for evil, and the 2 girls who are kidnapped believe they belong in the other school. So the girl who went to the good school is certain that she belongs in the evil one, and vice versa. It was really interesting when I had my hands on the library copy, and I am excited to read the series. And who doesn't love a middle grade with magical schools? Duh. That's like my Harry Potter dreams. If only I could reread Harry Potter for the first time. The next two books I picked up are part of the same series. I believe it's the Throne of Glass series. Is that what they're calling it? So I picked up Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. They didn't come with dust jackets, so I'm number one sad about that. Thanks, Bookoutlet. So rude. It's a scratch and dent copy, I'm sure, so it's not their fault. I had to go with what I paid for. Anyways, I'm sure you guys all know what the series is about. I've read the first, 4 in the series up until Empire of Storms. I've read all of those twice, and then I completely forget what they're about and have to reread them again. But this time around, I'm hoping that I remember them enough to jump into Empire of Storms, and I'd like to do that soon. But it's huge, it's massive, and we'll see. I do like the series, probably not as much as everyone else. I seem to like her, ACOTAR series a whole lot better, but I do want to finish this. And Tower of Dawn is about Cal. Is that how we pronounce his name? I hate him. So, and I don't even want to see a redemption arc, but I'll read it anyway. I also picked up Long May She Reign by Rhiannon Thomas. I don't know a whole lot about this as well. I believe it's about a girl who is like super far down in line to inherit the throne, and somehow the king and queen and all of the people who are supposed to inherit the throne have died, and now she has to be queen. And I don't know, the cover is beautiful. And basically, if you tell me that there is a story that is fantasy, I'm assuming this is fantasy based on the cover, that has royals, I'm in. I love royals, I love queens, I love kings, I love court intrigue. Let's do it. I also picked up The Last Magician. This is by Lisa Maxwell. Look at this. It's almost like The Neverending Story, which I clearly love. Like, it reminds me of it. Anyways, I think this is like about magic is extinct, and like the only place that you can use magic is in this like weird, I don't know, is it the Upside Down? I haven't read it, so can't really tell you. But, and then, I don't know, there's a thief and she has to go to wherever this upside down magic place is, and I'm sure there's like a problem that she has to solve. It's magic. I like the cover. It was cheap. Next up, I grabbed The Librarian of Auschwitz. This is by Antonio Ichube. I butchered that again. This is about I believe it's a true story about a prisoner of Auschwitz, and I believe that she is like holding on to books for other prisoners there. I'm not entirely sure what it's about, but it looks like it's going to be incredibly hard-hitting and informative, and it's always good to educate yourself on stuff that happened, especially in World War II, because you never know what's going to happen now. We have to know history to prepare ourselves for possible future wars and genocide and bad shit like that. I also grabbed The Smell of Other People's Houses by Bonnie Sue Hitchcock. This is pretty short. I think this takes place in Alaska, and we're following 4 different characters and their secrets and all your normal book stuff, but look how beautiful that is. And I don't know, the cover really drew me in, and I've heard good things about it. I believe, I don't remember, maybe it was Julie from Pages and Pens who read this. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but yeah, a lot of people have said that they liked it, so I gave it a grab. We'll see. Next, I grabbed When the Moon Was Ours by Anna Marie McLemore. I think this is like a magical realism romance type book. One of the main character grows roses out of her wrist, and she came into the town under mysterious circumstances, and there's like a boy, and I don't know anything about it. I've never read anything by Anna Marie McLemore, but it's a beautiful looking book, and I've heard good things. So, whoa, there was a fly. Bugs. Anyway, I've heard good things, so. I also grabbed another series. I don't know how many books this is going to be. The first being The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid, and the second being The Empress. I did read The Diabolic a very super duper long time ago, and I believe I read it the first month it came out. I don't remember like anything from it. I think there was like a princess or possibly a girl in high standing who had to go on some dangerous trip, and so I think it's a robot. She has her like robot twin, I don't know, go in her place, and I remember liking it. I think I read it too fast, and that's why I didn't retain any of the information. So I wanted to give this another reread and carry on to the sequel. Next, I have Belzar by Meg Wolitzer. I heard about this book a super long time ago. I believe it was like a Page Habit unboxing to where like one of the authors said that this book influenced her, and the way she spoke about it had me really intrigued. I see that there is a picture of Sylvia Plath on the cover, which I love her. So I think that will be fun to read. Maybe, I don't know, hard-hitting. It is, I don't know, compared to Sylvia Plath. So yeah, and it's relatively short. Next, I have American Street by E.B. Zoby. Everybody seems to really enjoy this, or at least they're hauling it and putting it on TBRs. I might butcher this synopsis, but I believe it's about a girl who comes into the United States with her mother from Haiti, and U.S. immigration holds her mother, and so she has to go live with her cousins, I think, and kind of like understand America without her mother and like build a life for herself. And I might not have got that right, but yeah, it looks interesting. Next, I have 99 Days by Katie Cotugno. This is like a romance, I think. There's like a sequel or something of that nature that has just come out. I think it's called 9 Days and 9 Nights. I don't read romance. I don't read anything in that genre, but I've heard good things from people who also don't like romance, so maybe I'll like it. Plus, it was dirt cheap. I also grabbed The House by Christina Lauren. I grabbed this solely because of the fact is that it looks spooky, and it says it's about a haunted house, so that's perfect for an October read, or if you're me, an anytime read, because I'm always feeling spooky. Next, I grabbed Wandering Star by Romina Russell. This is the second book. Is it called the Zodiac series? I don't know. The first book, I believe, is called Zodiac. It's up here somewhere. Right there. Right there. I don't know anything about it. I haven't read Zodiac yet. This was cheap. I wanted the second one just in case I did like the first one. And I think it is like a fantasy series based on the astrological signs, the Zodiac signs. So, sounds interesting. I'll give it a go. Next, I have The Distance Between Lost and Found by Catherine Holmes. I think this is about this girl who goes on like a youth, I don't know, is it for her church, a youth group retreat, and with like a bunch of kids who were mean to her, and there's like some secret between her and the pastor's son, and yeah, secrets, youth retreat, teenage drama, I don't know. It might be deep, it might not be. Either way, I'm going to give it a go. Next I have The Girl from Everywhere by Heidi Heilig. I think this is about a girl whose father has a ship that can sail to like any place, any time in history, whether it's like an imaginary place. God, what is up with this fly? An imaginary place or like a real place, and I don't know, it's fantasy. I like fantasy. I like thinking about it, reading about it, so yeah. Next I have The Dark Between by Sonia Gensler. I bought this just because the cover was like super intense. It looks spooky. I read the word seance. So yeah, it's right up my alley. And I don't know, is that a ghost child? I have no idea. If it's a ghost child, I'm pumped. I also grabbed Worlds of Ink and Shadow by Lena Coakley. All I know about this is it like, I don't know, is it about the Bronte sisters, I think? Yeah, something to do with the Bronte sisters. I think it's fantasy. I haven't read all of the only thing I've read by the Bronte sisters is Wuthering Heights. I fucking loved it. Ooh, I should bleep that out. Doesn't matter if we cuss on YouTube. Anyways, yeah, looks good. I also picked up Glitter by April Lynn Pike. I just read like the first sentence of the synopsis and like checked out because I was like, I have to have this in my cart and I need to own it because first of all, the cover is beautiful and like the first sentence said something about, what was it? It's like modern times outside of the castle, but inside they're living like it's like the 18th century, and it reminded me of that movie, what was it? The Village, that super real, weird, strange movie, and I don't know, this looked interesting. I'm excited to have it. Next, I picked up Violent Ends. I believe this is by multiple authors, and it centers around a school shooting, which scares me to no end. I have children, both of whom are in school, so I really don't like to think about that because it gives me anxiety, but it's a real and awful, horrible thing that's going on in the world. Not the world, excuse me, it's going on in the United States because we need gun reform. Anyway, yeah, so I thought I would buy this. I don't know if I have the stomach to read it just yet, but I'd like to. Next, I have The Apprentices by Mally Malloy. That's probably super wrong. I don't know a single thing about this book. The only thing I know is that the cover looked cool, so I bought it, and I think it was like $1. And it's hardback, and it's pretty thick. It looks like a fantasy, possibly middle grade. I'm not sure. I'll read it and I'll let you know. Next, I have The Winter's Curse by Marie Redkowski. I think this is like a fantasy. She looks pretty badass. I don't know, there might be like a forbidden romance. It implied that there was one. I love forbidden romances. I love fantasy. I love badass female characters, so let's do it. I also grabbed The Bargaining by Carol Ann West, and I think this is about like a spooky haunted house. I have no idea. It looked spooky. I love spooky. I am spooky. It was like $1. I bought it. I also bought The Iron Thorn by Caitlin Kittredge. I have read the back of this book, the synopsis, probably 6 times, and I could not tell you a single thing about what this is about, so maybe I'll check on Goodreads and see if they have like a better description, but I don't know. It just looked neat. I base most of my book buying on does it look good or not, so this looked cool. I bought it. I also grabbed Dreamology by Lucy Keating. This is so cute. I think it's about a girl who like has dreams about this boy, and then like one day he like shows up at her school and he's like all of a sudden real, but he's nothing like the boy that she dreams about, and I don't know, it's probably a romance. Oh, this fly is killing me. I also grabbed Wind Witch by Susan Dennard. I own Truth Witch. It's up there probably somewhere. I am not going to bore you with what this is about because I guarantee you've heard it like a million times. So yeah, I bought this. It's a hardcover. Cool beans. I also grabbed Bad Romance by Heather Demetrios. Look how stunning this cover is. It is so beautiful. I think this is about a girl who like lives in a super dysfunctional family, like maybe borderline abusive, I'm not positive, and then gets herself, well, not gets herself, but finds herself in a also bad relationship. Yeah, so I guess I'll find out what this is all about when I read it, and I will let you know. I also grabbed the book Janie Face to Face by Caroline B. Cooney. I didn't realize that this is like the 6th book in a series, but I believe the series is called The Girl with the Face on the Milk Carton, and I read the first 2 books when I was a little kid, and I remember nothing about them except the first book was about a child who saw their face on the back of a milk carton and realized that they were a kidnapped child and that their parents, I think, weren't who her real parents are. I don't know. So yeah, I just bought it because the cover looked spooky, and as I've said, I like spooky. So I think I might go ahead and get like the first 2 books in the series and see if I like it. If not, I'll donate this. And last, I have Little Broken Things by Nicole Bart. The back of this, like where the synopsis is, I don't really understand what it's about fully. I think that our main character's sister shows up and she like looks kind of awful and there's a secret and like our main character has to help her sister, but they aren't really close to begin with. I don't know. It looks interesting, so yeah. Alright folks, that was my June book haul. If you see anything that you would like to buddy read with me, please let me know, because I love buddy reading. It holds me accountable. Otherwise, I fear that I won't get to these for quite some time, at least until, what, September, because I will be participating in the Newts readathon next month, and I don't know if any of these books, I'm sure some of them will be able to fall into a category for that readathon, but yeah, if you'd like to buddy read, comment below or DM me on Instagram. I will link that below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!